Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here in Strasbourg. I'm in my office. I've just been looking through, I hope that's clear for you. I'm trying to step back a little bit and look into the camera as I've been told before. Today is one of the biggest days in voting in the Parliament. It's probably one of the only really important days that they try and encourage us to actually vote. And one of the reasons why they vote is because this is our voting list. This is how it gets printed out, telling us what's on the lists today. And on there, you won't see very clearly, I'm going to push in very closely on the top line. It's obviously backwards for you, but it says it's the draft general budget of the European Union for 2018, all sections. What that means is they're going to list line by line for us today what the European Union wants to spend during the course of next year. And people are going to put an amendment in. They're going to try and say, you shouldn't spend this, or you should spend that, you should spend more, or you should spend less. Now, why is that important for us? Because, of course, in the negotiations, this spending is what the European Union is saying you, the British taxpayer, should hand over to the European Union and give it to them for them to spend. And more than that, this spending is what the European Union is saying is our bill. Now let's take a look at that. That's what it's called the Parliament's position. And in it, and I'm not going to go through the 94 pages of this spending, but it begins with some very simple things. In Article 102.01, which is the first one they talk about, they say that we are expected to pay in 2018 9,700,000 just to help with surveys, economic forecasts, events and communications for the European Union. Well, okay, when we leave the European Union, why should we be paying the equivalent of nearly £10 million for the EU to collect its own data? We shouldn't have to pay a penny of that. But the next one down is even bigger. This is a commitment for 2018 of 42 million euros for macro-financial assistance representing the strong instruments to help our partners with financial unbalances. What that means is we're going to contribute 42 billion to try and help other countries in the EU deal with their macro unbalances in their economic projections. Or actually, what's happening? Why the hell should Britain have to pay anything towards that 42 billion after we have left? Sorry, 42 million after we have left. And that is why I have always said we have nothing to pay. But I'm going to turn quickly, if I can, to one of the pages that I found of interest. It was on page 5, if I can find that. In some of the documents here, right at the very back, it lists, like this, and I know it's backwards for everyone and you can't see it, but it lists all the different types of expenditure they suggest that we should be paying. So, in this section here, it talks about farming. Huge amounts of money on farming. It suggests that we have to contribute 14.5 million euros to the Committee on Agricultural and Rural Development. Well, if we've left the European Union, we've already got our own committee in the United Kingdom. So why should we be contributing any money whatsoever to a European committee? There's also 22 million euros to go to that same committee for the settlement of disputes between farmers. Once again, why should we have to pay that sort of money? Now listen, I've got to go. I have 4 minutes to go before the vote and I've got to get downstairs and I'm probably going to be very late to do so. But I just wanted to give you an indication on that. I'll try and get back if I can in the Parliament whilst we're voting to show you what's going on. And if not, I'll talk to you afterwards. But what I will do is I'm going to put the full document on my Facebook with all the money that we're expected to pay so that you can have a look at it. And sorry, the sunlight is now shining in my eyes. I'll dip down. You can have a look at that. You can see exactly what we're being asked to pay for. And then you can make your comments on what you think is fair or not. Anyway, I better go, so I'll talk to you all later. Take care, thanks.
They thought we'd just roll over and have our tummies tickled, and they've suddenly discovered that the British Bulldog doesn't behave like that.